Good day, and I love you. We're going to try this again. All right, I'm going to sit tight for a second and trust that the technology gods are shining upon me and the notifications are going out to the appropriate people so that they can join me. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! Look at that. We have liftoff. Perfect. Amen. Okay, here we go. We're in business. Thank you for being here and welcome to Tough Love with Honey. My name is Heather Peterson Lockhart, but in this beautiful broadcast, I become Honeybee Beautiful, a tough loving mama that'll gut punch you with the truth because everybody needs that mama. Don't nobody have her right now. Yes. So we're going to begin with a quick toning and meditation, and then we are going to welcome my lovely guest who is the winner of my Back to Basics challenge, where we just got back to basics with our fitness and our nutrition and our self-care. It was wonderfully successful. It was a beautiful blessing in my life, and she's going to tell us what it was like for her. So let's go ahead and chill out for a second. If you are seated, sit with both feet flat on the ground. If you are sitting on the ground, bring your belly button forward, everybody. And I'm going to play this bowl for us for a second, and we're just going to take a couple of deep breaths. And when you inhale through your nose, you can make an audible exhale. And what that means is when you exhale, you can make the noise with it, because then your body's going to hear it and your body's going to love it, and all of you will feel so much more relaxed. So if you would like to join me, you can go ahead and close your eyes and let your eyes relax. And let your lips soften. Let your shoulders calm down. And go ahead and take a big breath in through your nose. And then go out through your mouth. And in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And one more big breath in through your nose. And let it go out through your mouth. Take your left hand and put it on your heart. Take your right hand and put it on your left. And say, I love you to your body. And say, I love you to this planet that gives us life. And say, I love you to a power greater than we. And wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and open your eyes. Lovely. Thank you for being here. As I said, I just recently hosted a 30-day challenge, and our goal was to get back to basics in our fitness, our nutrition, and our self-care. It was very simple. The participants were able to work out in the gym setting or in the home setting. They were given a personal training program and a daily food plan, and they were to be accountable every day. And so the degree of success was directly measured against the degree of participation. If you did what I laid out for you, it went really, really well. I mean, like game changer, complete and total reboot. That's also what it did for me. I chose to participate in the challenge also. I've got a piece of hair tickling me or something that's fallen into my eye. So I'm looking at you funny. So, without further ado, I am going to invite the winner of our Back to Basics challenge, Miss Sandy Allen, on to join us. Hang on one second here. Ta-da, ta-da. There we go. Hello.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm good, beautiful girl. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm glad
Thank
we
you
got to
for
figure this
being
out.
here.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
I wasn't on the camera last time because I was too busy just like watching the whole scene. So today I'm trying to pay attention to lining myself up. You know, we creatives just get really excited with like the whole thing. And I was like talking like this the whole time. The whole thing looked like this last time. So here we are. Okay, so you participated and won my Back to Basics Fitness and Nutrition Challenge. I would love to hear about your experience in the challenge, but the first thing I would like to know, if you'd like to share with us, is what was going on with you in your life that you were interested in participating in such a thing to begin with?
Uh, well, it was very interesting, Heather, because you reached out to me. We've been friends for a very long time. I follow you on Facebook. I've always, I love what you do. I think you're gorgeous. Love your body. And you reached out to me on Facebook Messenger. You just basically asked me if I was interested in doing a Back to Basics challenge. I really had, I didn't really know what to expect about it, but what was going on with me at that time in my life, I was, I'm a pretty active person. I've always, from you probably known me for a long time, used to lift weights a lot. I was always into a little bit of bodybuilding, not quite to your level, but in the last 10 years, I've really stopped doing a lot of that, but I've been more active in regards to playing tennis, sports, kickball. So I was feeling like I was doing pretty good, and I was playing a lot of tennis. And what has been happening and going on for me over the last 6 or 7 years is I've been having issues with herniated discs. And when you contacted me, I had an issue, and I probably hadn't been able to bend over for about 7 days. So you reached out to me. You said, "Are you interested in Back to Basics?" Like, meaning I knew it was going to be weights or some kind of thing like that. And I didn't hesitate, and I said yes. I honestly felt like the universe was somehow you had reached out to me, and I thought to myself, I had watched you. You had said that you had healed your herniated discs at some point through exercise, and I said, I'm in. So I'll do it, not knowing anything, what it was to expect, and I just said yes. So that's what was going on with me. And by the time that the challenge came around, I probably had about three to 4 more weeks of resting, not doing anything. So when I came into the challenge, I had done no physical activity literally for about almost 4 weeks.
Mm.
So
Because you were hurting, right?
say what?
Because you were hurting,
I was,
right?
I was totally hurting. I mean, I
Yeah.
looked like I was 100 years old. I couldn't even bend over, and I couldn't put dishes in a dishwasher. I couldn't bend over. So yes, definitely.
Yeah, it's not that you had decided to take a break from your really active lifestyle. You were prohibited from participating in your very active lifestyle. Yes,
Definitely. Yes.
yes. Okay. So, you know, it's funny. I love hearing that. You and I, maybe because we know each other and you had watched, like you shared that I had done it. But a lot of people, when they say they have back issues and you're like, well, let's go work it out. Let's go fix it. They're totally apprehensive. That's the last thing they think they should do is participate in any kind of activity. They're like, no, I should go either have surgery or I should go have this treatment, or even if it's not that extreme, I definitely should not go work out and move around. Do you understand that I have a back injury? I have this going on with my back.
Yeah, I felt like I was paralyzed. I remember when I had the exercises that were laid out, and then I watched what I was supposed to do. And the one that I think had the most impact, let's just say on my booty, was it was an exercise in which you bend down and you put like a weight of maybe of something in front of you, and then you squat down, you put it to the right, and then you lift it up, and then you squat down and you put it to the left. And I was terrified because that action of putting something and holding it out in front of me was, I could virtually not even do that. I couldn't hold something out in front of me. So I remember when I first did that first exercise, very, very hesitant, but I think that became probably one of the best exercises that I did for my back, because it strengthened all the muscles that I really needed that were really very atrophied. If like looking at my before and after pictures, I can tell it was probably only 3 weeks because I got COVID 1 week. So I think I'm really excited. And is it bad that I keep looking at those photos? Like, I'm like, ooh, let me look at that. Let me look at that again.
I think you should put it on a t-shirt.
I should put it on a
be
t-shirt.
like, that's my booty.
That's my 57-year-old booty.
I was like, hashtag 57 on the back. For real though, right? Yeah. First I was going to say, when I hear you talk, I remember, because when your back gets to that degree of hurt, and it's all the time, your brain starts to anticipate what sort of movements will flag that spot in your back, and you know it. So even without doing something, you can look at someone and you can feel, and you'll be able to picture this in your head now, because at that point you can't engage your abdominal wall to hold you up. So putting anything out in front of you, especially if your legs are wide spread open, is going to completely pull all those muscles in your lower back, and you're going to feel like, yeah. Yep. And so anything is like, the simple things in life, like even just moving around, picking up laundry and doing things in your head, in your house, get really, I'll say, intimidating when you're protecting something like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, so let's talk about that. So 3 weeks into our challenge, and then we'll backtrack. Sandy got COVID. And she was totally killing it. Although I hate that phrase, so I'm trying to find a higher vibrating phrase than killing it, because I don't want to kill anything. She was loving it. But the thing is, when you say that, nobody really knows what you're trying to convey just yet. Right. So she's on point with like every aspect of our challenge. I haven't seen her I had seen her physical body changing from pictures on Facebook. So she had gone to the beach. And I was like, whoa, is that you in that bikini? Is that you in that bikini? Is that you in that bikini? Or is that you with those abs? And body just rocking. And then she got, so anyway, I knew a little bit about what her body looked like, but I hadn't seen the pictures yet. She's checking in with us. She's accountable. She's growing. Like I said, we'll backtrack on all that. And then she gets COVID. And so you were out for like almost a week from like eating the right way. And what's that? You're muted. I can't hear you. There's a button on the right on mine with a microphone. Do you see it? What's this? Hmm. I wonder if it's, whoa, now I lost you. There we go. Now we go.
Dude, I got a phone call and I just ended it, and then it totally threw off. Yeah, something about technology in us.
But
Can't
your
believe.
hair looks really good.
And
Your
what?
but your hair
Oh,
looks
my
really good. You
hair. Oh,
look amazing.
thank you very much. Thank you.
I mean,
I got
absolute
photo ready.
goddess. I love it. Necklace, everything.
Thank
Beautiful,
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
And so hey, we'll go back to the yeah. So she got COVID. So you were pretty much like out of the loop. Well, I say that you moving around. You were moving and living, but you weren't really able to train or to eat right
Right.
for like almost I think 5 days to a week.
Probably 5 days. I
Yeah.
did. What was so? Not only did the challenge teach me a training program. What it helped me to do is it kick-started me. I'd been wanting to do this. Every day I would wake up and I would say, gosh, I have the time. I could start. I could just start small. I could start with low weights, and really try that again. And the day would go by and I would be like, oh well, maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I'll look up something. I'll look up something online. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. I mean, like 7 years I've been doing this and watching my body, what I feel like is age. So I want, I don't want to age. I feel vibrant on the inside, but I would look at my body in pictures. And when I looked at my before pictures, what was interesting, and you made mention of my before and after, and you were like, okay, see, and then in the other one, she's smiling. Like the other one, I just felt like the body hangs on its frame. And my face felt like it was hanging on. I was just like, blah. And then the second picture, and what was so fun, because I went to the beach, and every year I'm like, before I go to the beach in September, I'm going to get exercise for a few months ahead of time, right? Wouldn't happen. So when I went there, I did my workout routine. I ate on plan. Exactly. And I was staying with some friends of mine and they were like, damn, you look jacked up. And I felt like I could feel it was I knew it was bigger. I felt like my muscles were far bigger than probably what was there, but I felt so good. I felt even a little arrogant. And I would be like, I look really great. I honestly it was so I felt like that on the inside, but what the program taught me and what it helped me with was it helped me to listen to my body. I can try to crush things for a while, but then what I want is sustainable. I want something that lasts beyond the 30-day challenge. How do I keep this going, and how do I for the future? I mean, but it taught me how to listen. So it was a lot more spiritually inclined, physically, mentally. So it had all the aspects that I believe that I needed to not just kickstart, but to be like a springboard for something more.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because when you're talking about the body just hanging there, the face hanging there, I hear two components. We see and observe the physical body. I see and observe the physical body and the energetic body. And so when the energy comes to life, so to speak, and the energy comes online and gets excited about being,
Right.
about living, about taking part in the vessel itself, then we get more animated, if you will, and you can see it. Your energy changes. People say that too, like your energy changed or your energy is like this, and we don't really fully understand the complete process of what's happening. When you dial that energy up by doing these things, we have to perform the behaviors in order for the energy to change. But then when it does, then the physical body changes. Energy first, as is above, so is below. So first we have these, whoa, I'm feeling different. I'm feeling different about myself. And then I'm having a chemical process because I am doing the physical activity that's actually changing my kinesiology. It's changing my chemical makeup. It's changing my biological response to what's going on in front of my face. And then I have all these things that are going together, then it changes my matter form. I start to get stronger. I start to have the muscles. My body starts changing, and then it's sort of a cyclical, reciprocative process, because then you see it in the mirror and it's rewarding and it makes you want to stay with it and you feel so good. But
Yeah.
it's so much, there's you changed your energy, like you said, you got in touch with your body, you learned to listen to yourself, and so you created the connection with your own body, your own soul, as well as improving your physical strength. And the body is kinetic. We don't know how much. It's like a watch. Those kinetic watches, if you don't move them every so often, they go dead. And so we really do not, the way it works actually is each muscle is encased in a sheath. The fascia itself conducts electricity. It kicks up electric messages that literally travel through the fascia and touch the muscle of the fascia of the next muscle. So by moving one, you create a chain of conductivity. So in a limb, but then and the body as a whole. So if you don't use it, you literally you lose it, right? And as we get older, we are taught so much. If we have pain or if we have an injury, we should go sit down. We should go lay down. We should protect it. When what you really should do is move through it. You should always maintain the chain of conductivity energetically, electrically, magnetically, and it turns into your biology. And so it doesn't mean, like you said, it doesn't mean you necessarily go do what you've always done, but you find the way that you can maintain the chain of conductivity in your body with what life is presenting. So if the back is hurting, maybe we get into the water, or maybe we lay on the ground, or we change the activities we're doing, but we do not stop, because that is literally, it's like insta old. It's crazy how it once you understand, it's like, my God, no, I would never just sit still. No, I will never lay down again.
Exactly. What was interesting, this was like kept running through my mind, when I first started the program, because my brain was, it's so funny, because I kept thinking, well, I'm gonna be doing this at home by myself. Heather's not going to be in front of me going, you got this, you can do this. And so it was all on me, and I was like, shit, what have I done? So I had to figure out how to get out of that negative mind, because the thing is that it was like I was coming out to the same space that I would look at every single day, and I would be like, no, but something was different. And I believe because we had that accountability, and every day I had to I had to put forth all of my intentions, right? So here were my intentions, and then I couldn't. I'm putting out that intention. I need, just like your post recently, you were like, get off your ass. Like, none of this is going to happen. Oh, I don't, my back, my this, my that. This is what I want. I want to stay active for the rest of my life. But I'm sitting on my ass, and I'm maybe on Facebook, or maybe I'm on TikTok or something like that. And then a few hours go by, and then I don't do it. And then I go, well, maybe tomorrow. And so this was what started me on that maybe tomorrow.
There is a scary beast that lurks so slow and quiet. It doesn't come out and say something flagrantly. It's just like you're just dwindling a little bit of time and a little bit of energy each day. It's so non-confrontational. What you're talking about, isn't it? And then days turn into weeks, months, years.
Yep. Yes, exactly right. So this was perfect. And there was a friend of mine, and I was hoping that we would end up doing it together. And I don't think she ever really got into it. It was something that, I think it's like anything else, right? You got to really want it, right? You got to want to change and make that effort, and just put one foot in front of the other. But the results were there. The results were like fast and immediate, and I love it. I'm an instant gratification gal, so it works for me.
And that is why it works in the environment itself. I've now been doing this for how old am I? 28 years. And I started to, and I have worked with elite athletes and people that get to the top of their game in their sport, dial in their physique like no other. That is one thing. Those are seasons. Those are events. Those are isolated circumstances. What I wanted to know is of those people, but then also of the people that I helped lose 100 pounds, 150 pounds, right? Who's still practicing these ways later? Who's still doing these things? Who still has this lifestyle? Who's still really happy in their body? Who still has the flexibility they want? Who still has the energy they want? Who likes their family dynamic? Like, who really fucking likes themselves and their life? Bottom line, all this time later, or did you just do it for a little bit?
Right.
And so, damn it, I lost my train of thought. It was something that you just said about getting in it and moving, and then, dang it, I'll get it. I used to get so embarrassed when I do that. Now I don't even care. It's just like there's a lot going on upstairs.
There's a lot going on for all of us.
There's a lot of wavelengths. We got to keep them hooked up. Oh, that's what happens. That something about these people that have done it at one time, and then, like you said, the friend came in, she had the stuff laid out for her. So I say, of the people that have the programs, of the people that have the knowledge, because I do honestly, and I can prove it, it's already been proven, have hands down the best nutrition system on the planet. I was the co-creator of the best physical nutrition system that's been in every CrossFit gym, every BJJ, I shouldn't say every, but a whole lot. And then with incorporating energetic wellness and balance into it, it makes it, there's no competition to date. Now I say that because there are a zillion there's a lot of other people out there who have really good nutrition programs and really good training programs. I don't claim to be the utmost authority. I'm damn good at what I do, and like you said, the results are immediate. There's a lot out there. So if that's the case, and people who have achieved the results they want once, or people who know that there are other people out there who make these good programs, you can get these programs, you can buy the books. So what is the deal? What you just said. If the program's in front of you, like the friend that comes in, and the programs are laid there and they're really good, they're proven, they're money back guaranteed.
Right.
Like it's
Right.
all right here. It's that good. All you got to do is pick it up and do it. So what happens? Why doesn't everybody have the body they want? It's not that the science isn't there. It's not that the knowledge isn't available. It's not that everybody can't get their hands on something better than they're already doing, right? You don't have to have the creme de la creme, the hands-on personal trainer, but there's something out there better. So what's happening? How do days turn into weeks? How do weeks turn into months? How do fucking years go by and we're like, whoa, where did I lose myself? How do I not have any passions? How am I not having the energy I want? And so I decided that there was a missing component on most all of this. And it's the daily accountability and the daily maintenance, but it's also the daily maintenance and accountability practiced in a community.
Right. Amen.
We used to live in a tribal environment, and apparently people didn't just walk out the tribe and just keep walking and decide that they identify as zebras. Like, this bullshit didn't happen. We're the only species on the whole planet
Right.
who has mutinied against the laws of nature, defying physics herself, but we're gonna make it through. Like, it doesn't even make sense. And so when you get back to basics, you start to say, what are we missing? If the programs are there and if the knowledge is available, and that is it. The vibe comes when the connection, when we're living as humans, we're designed to live. And you're practicing daily movement with your body, daily movement with your energy, and the accountability, and deciding, as you said, what that looks like, becoming a co-creator in your own life. You're waking up each day and you are deciding that you are going to take part in your own body and your own life.
I'm the
You're
only
not
one
going
that's
to
going to do it. Like, I'd really like for you. You do it really well in your life. I'd love, but I have to be able to do that in my own life, which serves me. And I think the accountability, and I think that me knowing that I was going to put my money where my mouth was, right? If I'm spewing it out into people I barely know, and changing and doing things that I was just like, that my mind wants to tell me, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to do that shit today. I don't want to check in. I'm not in a good space or whatever. But what would happen is that my mood would ultimately end up to be what my intention was. You know what I mean? It would pull me to that space. And then my negative mind, I was able to combat my negative mind, and I would just be like, and get on to living and doing it happily. It really, I don't know. It was just, it made a huge difference. I love it.
People that are so cerebral right now are so grounded in what they call their own science. And so they always want to hear the science reason. They're so in their head. The science behind that is, if you know the double slit experiment, light observes light. Light affects light. When you say to yourself in that process, while you are writing or dictating or typing, whatever, there is a conscious recognition between you and your creator about how you're going to act in your day, right? And so this is the science behind it. What we call it with hands-on as a mama is, when you show up in the family loves on you. And that's, it's simple living. Like, no, you're not in a great place every day. But if you brought your little punk ass in the middle of a loving family that was like, hey, little punk ass, you need some love? I love you. And you'd be like, all right then. And we all need that. No matter how big you get, you got the little in you acting up. Right. And sometimes you got to love on you. You just got to give some love and get your balance. So that process becomes, like you said, insta-effective. And what that does is open the energetic pathways to allow ourselves more creative and connective flow, which manifests as willingness to do a nutrition program, willingness to wake up and adhere to a fitness program, which manifests as a big old dope booty.
That I still look at. Not even my favorite bathing suit either.
I gotta see the favorite one. I keep losing this earring. I gotta see the favorite one. You gotta see it. We'll do it for the next one. Do it for the next challenge.
I'll do it for the next challenge.
Yes.
I'll start here. Yeah, I'm down with that.
So let's talk about that. Okay, so we do this thing, and for the viewers at home, I don't think people recognize how profound a process it is in 30 days that someone can rewrite their beliefs about who they are and what they be. Mm-hmm. Self-help is one of the biggest industries on earth right now. People are buying books. People are going to workshops. I was saying to Robert last night, I realized something profound the other day. Unless someone can help me on this, I do know about the Nag Hammadi, which was written later, but I don't think that Jesus spent the first part of his life sitting down, writing any indoctrinating books. What Jesus did was go sit with families in their living rooms and go be with the community and model behavior. I believe he was saying, be as I be. I am your evolution. Look at me. You can be like me if you be like me. And so I was thinking about that, how we go read books. We read a book and then we come home and we tell our significant other, so I read this book and blah, 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 and it sounds great and it changed my perspective on everything. And you're like, honey, that's awesome. And then there's no more talk about that book, right? Unless you get to the workbook or something like that. Or people go to workshop. They go to the gardening workshop and they're like, I went to the gardening workshop. Oh my God, it changed my game. Freaking gardening's where it's at. And you're like, yeah. They're like, I freaking love gardening. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Yeah. Okay, let's stay, plant a garden and get with some other gardeners. It's going to be that person who had a perspective change for a weekend because of the gardening workshop. Right? Yep. That person who read the book, who had a game-changing moment, it was altered by that book. And that's it. And then you don't know where the book is, and nothing changes about your life. We have to integrate the change in our thinking into our behavior every day. And we have to do it with the connection and the mirror of others. Others have to see us do it and say, wow, I see you doing it. It's like the tree falling. Does the tree make any noise if no one else is there? We have to have someone saying to you, I see you doing it. Good for you. Look at you go. And then these changes become new energetic pathways. Like you've said in so many ways just since we started. When I started, I thought this. When I started, it was this way. And then because I was like, whoa, that's not really the way I want it anymore, accosted with your own thinking, I'm going to have to make some new decisions. That's really profound to do such profound work in 30 days. Especially when many people read book after book and go to conference after conference. So there's something to be said in the actual showing up and being in a group of like-minded people that are doing it with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. So this next challenge we're going to do a 6-week challenge called Becoming Goddess. We will kick this off this Monday. Early bird prices are available. I'll go over that at the end of the broadcast for those of you who are interested. But the real big focus on this one is we're going to focus, of course, on fitness and nutrition, of course, on weight loss, but on summoning our sexy, on balancing our hormones, because menopause is a hustle, and
and long time.
Yeah, it's just and connectivity in our own feminine energy. Now that's not a gender thing, that's not a sexual orientation thing, that is a grounding in our creativity. I wrote down
Greg
you
Lawler
said
watching. Sorry, I have to
what's
say
that?
I have to say hi to Greg Lawler. It's like one of my first boyfriends when I was 14 years old. Hi, Greg. Hi.
Hi, Greg. Look at me now.
Very, very talented human being. Yeah.
How lovely.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about the.
So I wrote down a word you said earlier. And this is this is where I think the goddess work comes in. I have to taste my coffee because my coffee is like pitch black jet fuel. And so I think it'll stain my teeth. That's why I have to drink the 2 drinks every time. And people are like, why does she have the ritual of 2 drinking things? So you wrote down that you keep looking at the pictures of your comparisons of your side by side from the 30-day challenge. Is that arrogant? Is it arrogant? Is it arrogant or is it confident? That is the shift that we're going to focus on embodied in the Goddess Challenge. There is nothing arrogant about knowing your own beauty. It is the thing that I have tried to completely embody, I'm becoming aware of completely embodying in this last year. I have realized that there's so much focus in our world about the doing, about the performance, about the competence, about the degrees. We completely squash on the primal, primitive importance of beauty, of connection, of things feeling good. I think about when I give the analogy, when the sun is about to rise, the sun does not yell at anyone, are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Are you up? Are you focused? I'm rising, damn it. Are you watching? And yet the sun rises with no commanding announcement, and has the power to take all of our breath away. For all of us to be completely, exclusively enamored with the grace and the majestic beauty of its rising. When a baby is born, I don't know a single human being that wouldn't be speechless. Absolute. The thought of it makes me cry, thinking about if you've witnessed that, how it moves your soul. The baby's not, well, the baby may be screaming as it comes out, but it's not screaming for your attention. It is not commanding of you. We give of our own energy and our own connection freely to that degree of beauty. It is God's grace. It is freely given. It is something that can fill you up and change your games. You can see a woman that is so beautiful. Watch an artist create their thing. Read a work of art, hear a song, watch a dancer dance, and be moved to tears. Your soul can shift. People can go into spontaneous remission, moved by this degree of beauty. It is God's work. And so for us to completely try to embody one aspect of our humanity and trample on the other leaves us without the fundamental connection that allows our highest health, our highest happiness, our highest harmony, the most balance in our organs, the most love in our lives. It leaves us without the degree, the ability to receive in life. The male aspect is our doing, the female aspect is our getting, is our receiving. And so as a species, we're massively ill because of this. And it's not a man-woman thing. It's a thing I do believe, though, that women will have to heal first and carry to the men in our lives. Because I don't think that the men in our lives at this degree, at this time on earth, have really had the prototype that has shown them that it's okay to get in touch with your feminine side, to get in touch with your creativity, to man up by down, so to speak. It's just not, it's not presented. In fact, quite the opposite. TRT is like testosterone replacement therapy is like, in every man's vocabulary now, which I find freaking insane how quickly the entire population can be indoctrinated into a new way of thinking or a new disease or a new problem or a new whatever, how quickly we forfeit our energy and shift our focus. Anyway, that's a topic for another podcast. So our focus will be on embodying all that connection, that creativity, and that compassion within our own bodies so we can bring it to the bodies around us, to our families, to our communities, to our work, to our projects, to our creative endeavors. So there will be a nutrition program. There will be a custom design personal training program, which is really cool. That's a really big deal, especially for someone who has specific goals or has anything going on with their body, which is every human being, because each of us has some stuff that we might want to get stronger, or we might want to back off this or create better alignment or more harmony in our physical body. So I design a program for you based on your own needs, your own goals. What do you have? If you're going to work out at home, you show me what you have, and I make a program. If you're going to the gym, we do it there. So, and then of course we'll have the daily accountability, because those are the staples. It's funny to me, some of these life coaching certifications and people that are doing life coaching stuff, and they're like, yeah, well, we work on my quantum healing. And I'm like, oh yeah, so do you exercise? No, we work on my quantum healing. Do you have a nutrition plan? We work on my quantum healing. You in a 3D body. You in a 3D body, and you expecting to balance your, well, all this is like, that's like trying to talk about the best meal when someone hasn't had water in 5 days. Like, you got to give them water.
Right.
You got to balance your biology, and you cannot do that, human being, without physical activity and proper nutrition. There's no loophole here. There is no loophole here. So those are the basics that we seem to forget. We're mammals on planet Earth. We used to move as a tribe. Life was movement. You had to get your food and move your ass. You couldn't just sit around all day and then have to get my steps in. No,
Right.
no, that's not human living. So we will always be back to basics in any of my challenges, because that's what works, because we're humans. So.
Definitely.
So we'll kick that off. I'll start sending out early. Let's see here. I'm running an early bird special on that. I don't think I put the link on this podcast. If you're interested, y'all, you can DM me. And then early bird special will run through Friday. I'll run it through Friday, even though we start on Monday. I have to collect early bird paperwork from everyone by Friday. Otherwise, if I'm doing it over the weekend, then there is no early bird applied. Other than that, what was your favorite part of our challenge?
What was my favorite part of the challenge? I think, honestly, I think getting through the exercises. So, I mean, I started off, I think I told you that I felt so physically nauseous.
I was going to say, you said you felt ill.
Physically ill from, and it was small. You know, I really felt like that I was, for my age, I compare myself to other people too, right? In my age group, become a pretty good tennis player, and people are impressed and whatever. I look fit, I look relatively fit, but I could not do. They were the come help me with that. The side, the one where you pull yourself up on the side. It's for 10 seconds, 10 times.
Side plank.
Side plank, and then the front plank. The front plank was easier than the side plank. Side plank, 10 seconds, hold for 10 seconds, drop. Up, hold for 10 seconds. You do 10, but you had to do 3 sets of that, like at the end. Oh, I thought, and honestly, the first week workout took me 1 hour. Took me one hour. As I got stronger, it was like, I would be like, boom, boom, you know, I could get it. I could feel it. And I think that my favorite part of it was, honestly, was the progress, because I was just like, I am doing this. And I hadn't even looked at like I wasn't looking at my body going, oh, you know, I wonder if there's going to be any changes. So when I did the before and after, for me, the before and after photos, I was really pleased. But there were so many aspects about it. But I think just me creating this space, getting on my floor, going, all I need is a floor. I need a floor in my body. Oh my God, that's all I need. In order to do this, in order to get the results, like I had a friend of mine make a comment. She was like, man, you're back, you know, like everything is just like lifted and raised, and all of that was a floor. That's it.
You're that one picture. Okay, so you have a posture, and it's funny because any athlete or weightlifter is going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Your shoulders, you got a V taper going so much that it changes the shift of your palms. Okay, like when regular people take a picture, they look like this from the back, but when weightlifters show up, they're like this. Like it shifts your hands out. And so I was looking at it, I was like, oh my God, Shorty's got the leg, she popping, like she's got the V paper and everything. Because, you know, at first, of course, like you clearly noticed, what's that?
I said, am I posturing like I did? I felt like I was coming into a room like, yeah, you know, I really did. It's confidence. It's not arrogance, it's confidence. I feel really good.
Yeah. It is. It's confidence, and excuse me. It's interesting because today the first word to reach for is arrogance versus confidence. When people like Socrates used to say something like, if you ain't living in your body, you ain't living in your body. You know, I operate that way. That's why I say it's tough love, because I'm like, what are you doing about it? Are you exhausting your potential? Are you really driving your engine? Like, are you playing in your machine? And if you're not, what are you crying about it for?
Right.
Like, everyone can do something. You just have to make the decision to start.
Yep.
I love that you said the progress, and I'll tell you, one of my favorite parts, I loved watching you fall into yourself. I loved watching you create and develop connection with yourself, which translated into nurture for self and self-love and kind of words for self and a really flowing schedule. Right. And but one of my favorite, what's that?
Overwhelmed. I was super overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed in the beginning. I was learning something new. I was just like, oh my God. And then as the weeks went on, it was like my energy was like more balanced. I was just like, yep, you know, I got this. Everything really fell into place. So it's not just one thing. There were so many aspects of it that I benefited from. Yes.
I loved when you said you asked your husband to step away from his conference call to take your progress photos because you felt confident. That made me cry. I loved that so much, because part of, I think, what women don't get told and we're not taught is that when you embrace your sexy, and this is the reason for becoming goddess, everyone in your home benefits. Like when you step up your sexy game, everything around you is going to love your sexy game because you feel better about yourself. The way you interact with everything around you is more sexy. It feels good. Everything around you is going to love it. So I loved hearing you say that confidence translated into your marriage like that. I loved it. In fact, I thought that's a good marketing tool. Join the Goddess Challenge and make your husband happy, make your wife happy, depending on make your partner happy. Like buy this for your partner.
Exactly.
Awesome.
This has been
Well, then we will be kicking off again. We'll be doing that thing come next week.
Yes.
I'm excited. It reset me too. I compared to the norm, I live a super maintenance lifestyle, but compared to what I can, that makes me feel like, I guess it's like, if you've always driven a Honda Accord, then when you drive a Honda Accord, that's the machine. But if you got to go, test drive Ferraris and Lamborghinis and creme de la creme race cars and stuff for a week, when you go back to the Honda Accord, it is not going to measure the same. And so for me, I've been able to, hone my machine and really take it to the degree that, like, I know what it feels like to be operating like that. So this was a beautiful reset for me, and I'm really excited about becoming Goddess because I give myself more permission to be more of me when I do it with others.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So,
I love the community aspect. Yes, it's been great.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you, Heather. I really appreciate it. It's great.
You look
great to see you.
Radiant, and I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
I love you. I'll see you next week.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Bye, honey.
Bye. Thank you all for joining me. You can subscribe to my podcast. It's uploaded on all major carriers. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link is below. The Goddess Challenge will kick off on Monday. I also have a Back to Basics challenge for men. It's also kicking off on Monday. I didn't even talk about that on here. If you're interested, DM me for details. Subscribe to my YouTube. Come into the village and join a challenge and love on yourself. Thank you for being here. I love you so big.